Preacher Season 2, Episode 10, Dirty Little Secret. Now, I've never really looked up information as far as what, people think about this show who are, like, super religious, but man, I know they got pissed off at this episode if anyone's heard about it yet. It starts off really, really silly, because it's like they have Jesus, banging this married woman, because, for whatever reason, he loves this random woman. And I love the fact that it's like two people basically from today. She's like, she says stuff like, can you just put your finger here and stuff like that. And so they do it for like a super, super long time. And he's like, Jesus. So it's like, first off, I want you to know I love you, which kind of freaked out. She's like, what? And he's like, and you can never, ever, ever, ever tell anybody about this, okay? And then he was like, cool? And he's like, cool. He's like, cool. And he's just like the silliest person. It was so funny to me watching that. And so everyone's looking for Jesus, and he's like, you guys are all passed out, so I came to pray with this sick woman. And of course, one of his crew is like, okay, there's stuff on the ground, let's see this, that. They totally bang. And of course she ends up pregnant, and she ends up having the son of Jesus. And so they kill off the mother, and then that's basically like the foundation of the Grail, is that they raise the descendants of Jesus. And that ultimately comes to present day, where Jesse is going to the Grail. He talks with Herr Starr in the beginning of the episode. He's like, basically give me all the answers that I want. So they basically team up in this episode. He gets nothing from the Pope and like the Archduke Bishop or whatever. And so he hears two weird stories because no one really knows what the heck is going on. So everyone still has like their own beliefs. So they slightly reference like whoever that is. So of course Jesse uses Genesis on Herr Starr. He's like, take me to whoever this, first he has him tell the story, and then he's like, take me to him. So they go a million, miles away, and he meets this kid, and, or he was an adult, but when he shows up, he finds out that, of course, there's inbreeding, because they're like, let's keep the line pure, and I guess it makes sense, sort of, but they knew what was going to happen, so it's like, double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know. It's like when you have inbreeding, that's what's gonna happen. Like, what was the point of that if you knew that's what it would lead to? So it's just like, for whatever reason, it was like, keeping the line pure was the greatest asset. Even though, they show, like, in the episode, they don't reference it or anything, but I would imagine after all this time, clearly nothing's happened. It's not like any of these people are turning water into wine or anything. It's like, no, they're just his kids, and they're just like, they're basically normal humans, even though they're from this lineage. They really aren't that special, altogether. So it's like, okay, well, Jesse goes there, he gets peed on basically, and then it's just like, alright, well, this was absolutely pointless, and now I have nothing again. So he goes back home. By the end of the episode, it's like, well, I'm gonna have to find God, and I'm not gonna trust you guys because you all suck. So, I gotta go with my friends, which doesn't get the greatest example when he finally gets back to the house at the end, because of course, I can't think of Cassidy's son's name, but Cassidy's son, isn't really controlling himself, so he killed somebody, and he's just like, hey, what's up? And he goes home and his face is all bloodied up. So, that's like where Jesse's storyline ends. Once again, just like, I got this lead, and it leads to nothing for me, and I'm back at square one. Like, that's been him for like the past couple of episodes, honestly. Like, he either has a lead or he has nothing, but whether he has a lead or not, he's in that place where nothing is happening. So it's just like, well, that sucks for him. That really sucks for him. Other side of this episode, they have the small glimpses of Cassidy and his son, and basically it's just leading to, I don't know if they're going to do this, but he might end up killing his son off if his son is like just constantly losing control, killing women all over the place. But they barely touch on that. It's like a small little thing for future episodes. But the other really big chunk of this episode, the other main story, is of course Tulip, and she's still having this dream of nearly dying, the fingers falling and her being choked and stuff. But a big chunk of this episode also focuses on her and the plan of the Grail, where instead of now killing the trio, their plan is to basically rip Tulip and Jesse apart, because they know like Cassie's like his buddy, but that's his love. So if they can tear them apart, then they can kind of break the whole thing up. So they're trying to get them to break apart. The woman almost gets herself killed because she screws up and mentions Dallas and everything, when of course Tulip didn't mention it. And of course they play it perfectly because she has her buddy come in as like the fake boyfriend Rodney, and they both like team up to beat him up, and she like cracked his ribs and stuff, and he's all messed up, and it's like they just treat him so wrong. But basically everything kind of works out fine, and so their plan is to, with them, breaking the couple up. Turns out that when she was in, the woman, when she was in the bathroom, this little tile is where they decided to have the weapons of the Saint of Killers pop up again. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, huh, didn't really see that one coming. I guess I never paid much attention to it. And I would assume that she was the one that put him there, but at the same time, she would have had to have dug like this giant hole. So I'm guessing that that really was what was there. Like she, at some point, like she opened up or whatever. And that's why she referenced it again when she was like getting the stitches. It was like, hey, you should fix this at some point. You're really handy. And of course, you got like a loose towel and there's a hole. You're like, well, let's check it out. Let's see what happens. Some people may be freaked out by bugs and might not do that. But, for more curious people like myself, I'd be like, I'll at least put a light down there and see what's down there. So, of course, Tulip reaches down and she gets her hand on both of the Saint of Killer's guns and his blade. And they're just laid out on the table. So, very excited to see how that's going to play out because that's going to reveal something. I'm sure he'll end up telling you the truth, or maybe he'll just keep lying. Who knows? But with the weapons being there, it does bring up that question. Like, why do you have the weapons? Why did you hide them? If you sent them to hell, like it's easy to say like, hey, I got the weapons around. Kind of makes sense not to do that because you have your girlfriend who's freaking out, or anyone who'd be freaking out after this person using said weapons, almost like chop them straight down vertically. So kind of makes sense to hide them, to freak you out a little bit. But yeah, he had them hidden in the bathroom floor, which is super gross to me. But yeah, she found him, and now we have this crazy confrontation, especially with Jesse at the end of this episode, like, so confident, like, I have friends, don't need you guys, you suck anyway, I got my friends to back me up, no big deal. And then he's going to walk right through that door, and it's going to be an issue. So definitely excited to see how it plays out. I like the way they kind of played this story. I was very curious what was going to happen when that lady screwed up. I can't think of her name at all, or the other guy's name, but I remember the fake Rodney name for some reason, but I can't remember either of their names. Probably because they didn't say him at all in this episode. They did the fake Rodney name, but no, the guy said his name when he picked up the phone. He said his name, and I just don't remember. I remember the Rodney thing though. But yeah, I was like, is she gonna take this woman out? Because of course she was reaching for the gun when she thought she was busted, and I was like, does Tulip see her reaching, and is she gonna basically grab the gun before she's able to even pull it all the way out and then just shoot her, or how's this gonna play out? I thought it would have been very interesting if she helped her, beat the guy up, assuming that was like her evil ex-boyfriend, and then she still like pulled the gun on her and was like, who the F are you? But ultimately things kind of, placate themselves because of the crazy bonding experience that they have, and now they have a chance to see them at least argue. I'm sure they won't officially break up, but they at least argue for sure. They're going to have to argue with this gun and sword being revealed now. So looking forward to the next episode. Of course, would love to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, your least favorite parts about it. And I definitely want to know how you guys think things are going to play out between Jesse and Tulip. Like I said, for me personally, I don't think they're going to like truly break up. And even if they do, of course, it'll be temporary. But I don't know. I feel like there might be, well, if he does reveal the truth, maybe she would officially break up with him, because that just makes sense. So we'll see how that plays out. So maybe they will break up, because at some point she has to find out. That's like just normal TV stuff. Like either you kill the character off before they ever find out, which they aren't going to do that with Tulip, or eventually they find out that the other character lied to them and did something totally different, which he's going to need a heck of an explanation, because it's so stupid that he did that when he literally could have just said, go to hell, instantaneous, no problems whatsoever, but instead he chose like the suffering route to have him just suffer and live forever down there, which, like I said, just waiting for that to come back, because they're going to find that truck and get him out of that swamp, and then he's like, alright, back against, the preacher. So looking forward to what they do in the next episode. But like I said, we'll love to know your theories and stuff like that, your thoughts on how Jesse and Tulip will kind of either get past this situation or won't get past this situation. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.